Hello, Narnach here. Welcome back to Path of Exile, the Talisman League. So this is continuing straight on from where we were last time. Only thing I changed in between was have a look at the new microtransactions available in this game. And as you might remember from some previous series, I have a fondness for ghost flame effects, so I just had to get the Ghost Flame armor set, which I've got currently equipped, which is pretty neat. Look like a ghost pirate now, which is always a good thing to look like. Let's see, and this is completely dead end. So I'm a little surprised at how little damage Kale Contagion is doing. It is early, but maybe I was expecting a bit too much. Maybe I don't know. But against groups of enemies, it. But the thing is, it costs 12 mana to cast, while Ethereal Knives cost 8. So you would expect, based on the math, for a Contagion cast to do 50% more damage than a Ethereal Knives attack. So this has a 24.6 DPS. You cast it almost twice per second, so roughly 12 damage per hit. Contagion, on the other hand, it lasts for 5 seconds, does 5 damage per second, so it should hit for 25, actually slightly more, 27 damage per in total. Which seems fine, actually. I don't know, but it's probably because there's a damage over time effect that it feels weaker, because there's no instant result. You need to wait a couple of seconds before it does the damage. And because it's AoE, it's actually pretty decent now. Interesting. Well, that's the interesting bit, of course, about damage over time effects. They don't feel powerful, but they slowly wither the enemy away. Also, stop with those worms. Another dead. Hey, what you doing? Chaos damage, just the same amount. Actually, that's slightly less. So 28, 24. Wondering if the range is somewhere between 20 and 30, or if it's going to be slightly weirder numbers. So I've already got 4 that I'm currently not using, so if I find one more, I actually have enough to sacrifice at the altar. Which is definitely going to be interesting. Just to see how that is. Also, I need to find an altar first. Let's not forget about that just yet. Also, someone blinded me. It's visibly darker. Yeah. Those guys are always fun to see. Just buffing themselves up, charging them up, and then boom, striking. Hello, Mr. Krabby. Hello there. Yes. Okay, this guy actually does interesting numbers of damage. And we got some loot. Okay. Well, we can just port out of this mess to see what we can do. Well, that's gonna be Nissa. This adds bonus to attacks. Doesn't really boost much. On the other hand, it's a little bit of armor's life per kill. whatever. Alt charge are probably going to be way more useful. Double strike, don't really care. Let's just sell that as well. Already drowning in low level gems. Wait, actually don't really need much of this. Can we get anything else yet? Nope. Okay, Tarkly, you actually have a reward. Passive point, yes. So that's gonna be the first one. Extra damage over time, so 2.1. What was it become? 3.2? Still 3.1. Oh, yeah, it's rounding down, of course, so it's less noticeable. You need pretty big difference to make an impact on 3.1 DPS. That means we move on from here. Let's hope the instance hasn't reset, and of course it has. So there are 3 marks on here. I am always confused, so that's I came from the top side previously, so let's continue to the bottom. It's always fun playing the first couple of hours when a new league starts on hardcore, because you always see the messages of people making it to new levels and people dying at certain levels, and it's always fun to see just how far people are ahead. Presumably those people play in dedicated teams with builds designed for clear speed, probably at the expense of survivability, at least initially. Because, well, face it, early on the game is not overly threatening, so you can actually, as long as you keep 1 hit killing all the enemies, or 2 hit killing them with a group, or 4 hit killing with a full group, then you don't really need defense. I mean, if the enemies are dead before they can actually attack you, then you don't need to defend against their attacks that hypothetically would have happened, but actually didn't. But as a solo player with I always play solo. I like to take it a bit easy, play my own pace. Don't rush. Start with the builds that's usually, let's say usually, more tanky and defensive from the start, rather than going all out aggressive in the hopes of storming the ladder. So all those factors mean that I lag behind quite a bit. So yeah. Hello there, Haku. Yeah. So we go down there. It's always nice to get these extra dungeons in the beginning. Just you get a little bit of more experience. In this case, it's more areas to explore without having to rerun old areas. So there's a bigger chance of gaining talismans. Because, you know, talismans, they just have a random chance of popping. So the more monsters you encounter in more areas, the bigger the chance of encountering talismans. And getting them all. I mean, talismans are going to be like Pokemon, right? Gotta catch them all. So this is quite a number of enemies. Let's see what we can find over here. I have to say that initially I already liked this league more than I did the Darkshrine League. Just the whole concept is way cooler. Well, admittedly the Darkshrine was kind of a temporary filler league. I think that was the entire thing. There was no new mechanics, it's just no recycled mechanics from older leagues. If you want to stay where you are, then I'll just chaos you to this. Here, the talismans potentially with the boss fights. I mean, I have yet to encounter a stone ring. So things are definitely going to get more interesting as they progress. We killed it. Go spirits. Oh, this is a resurrector spirit. That's gonna be fun. But I wanted to check out my new spirit shield, because a spirit shield usually gives more spell power. And more spell power means more contagion damage. And the circlet is in a corner. I'm safely tucked away. I can't afford to do this. Let's see, more energy shields. And accuracy rating. Don't care about accuracy, but I do care about the energy shields. Okay, you guys die. So you only resurrect things once. So let's see, move this over, move that one over. Okay, this is why I skipped this early on. Just too much messing about with the microtransactions. Right, let's so. Just gotta kill them all once more. So I forgot if I get more XP or not from killing them. Do I? No, they're worth 0 experience. Okay. In that case, running forward is the best strategy, because there is literally no gain in killing them again. I don't think they can even drop new loot, can they? That's worth double checking. Can they drop loot? They don't seem to. Okay, easy enough. Hello there. How cool. Submerged passage. Wait, that's where I came from. So much fun. So that is the one annoying bit about the ledge. If you go back from halfway through, I always forget where to go next. Then again, it's a small thing, right? And there's the waypoint already. Well, nice thing is that we'll probably just end up doing a full clear of this area. Not sure if there's an achievement for that, but if there is, we'll get it. Doom, 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 doom. Yeah, goats. The Lord of Goats. Yeah, this is the dead end. So then they're all starting to drop like flies. Now for a couple of them I did need to cast it multiple times, the contagion to this. So Path of Exile seems to be the next type of armor to get. Sweet. That one is now going to be over there. Yeah. Okay. Like that one. Yeah, then I have to go there. Okay. This is annoying. There's too many clicks and too much mucking about in microtransactions stash tab thing that you can't actually change things in. But yeah, there. I suppose that if you're a long-term player like I am, I was in the original closed beta, hence the little dodo thing. Or it's not a dodo, it's a kiwi. Sorry kiwi people. Don't be offended. So spikes. Those look pretty brutal. Boom, Spire Talisman. But over time you do end up accumulating a bunch of microtransactions if you want to support the game's development. Also, when are you actually ever gonna level up Contagion? Okay, almost. That's good. Ooh, 24% increased maximum mana. That's not a bad one either. So chaos damage and mana would be a nice combination. So the unique ones, they're built one, they actually will have 2 implicit modifiers picked from the lower tiers. So that could be an interesting combination, mana and chaos damage. Because mana is definitely useful for this guy. Yeah. So now that I'm talking about microtransactions and complaining about that I've got too many. Now, if you want to support the development of the game, I mean, Path of Exile is a completely free game. I mean, everything in the game you get for free. Everybody is on equal footing in terms of playing the actual same game. Nobody has an advantage. The only difference is the microtransactions. If you want, you can choose to spend money. Just give your money of your own free will to the developers of the game. And you can spend that money to just get microtransactions, make your armor look shinier, make your skills look shinier. And in no return for that money, they get to keep the servers running and they can develop more awesome content. Because the Talisman League, is free content. The expansion, the Ascendancy expansion that he announced, completely free content as well. And I think that's really, really awesome. And if you compare it to World of Warcraft, that's $15 a month or something. And most months you don't even get anything new for it. It just keeps the service running. And here, it's free, but it's basically just subsidized by the people who buy microtransactions, or people who, buy the supporter packs whenever they are available. And I think it's a really nice way to develop and support a game long term. I mean, if you like what a developer is doing, oftentimes if you are able, of course, you're more willing to give the developer a lot more money than they otherwise would have charged you if it was about a subscription fee or something like that. Let's see how we keep up now. We have to survive for a minute again. Let's see. So far so good. Well, one of the reasons I would actually consider playing through after defeating Act 4 on normal difficulty is the new Blasphemy aura. And Blasphemy will basically take any linked curses and apply them to all enemies within aura range. So it's basically like a curse that just auto applies, which is interesting. But I think that the minimum level requirement for that one was level 38. So you're gonna find it either in late Act 4, or you're not gonna find it in Act 4 at all. You have to wait until the next difficulty level, which I believe is Cruel. I play there rare enough that I'm even uncertain about the name. I know there's Cruel and I know there's Merciless. Presumably Cruel is the next one, because it sounds less powerful than Merciless. I mean, Merciless sounds definitely worse than Cruel. Cruel is just a bit cruel. Merciless is just uber cruel. Let's see. We should probably head through there. Probably a path over there. It's the path for this exile. Okay, so that ethereal knives is actually so far pretty nice synergy with what I got. the contagion. They're both very much group focused. I mean, doing a lot of spike damage to a single target is definitely not part of the agenda of this character, at least not with the current skill build. I'm so curious about how the essence drain level 12, I think, is gonna turn out. Since that's gonna be I think it's gonna be a proper single target damage. It has some instant damage and it has some damage over time. So there's a slightly stronger reward for just chain casting it on the same target. So that helps with boss fights and things like that. Yeah, mana's definitely becoming slightly better. Okay, let's see if we can just herd some cattle rather than killing small packs at a time. Let's see, there's a couple of there, maybe they'll follow, some goats, some archers, more goats. Okay, and that one's gonna die as well, cool. Superior large life flask. That sounds like an upgrade for the small ones I still have. A slight upgrade, that is. Okay. Right, we still came from there. At least we found a waypoint. That's good. I usually want to see if I can make it all the way to the prison waypoint. Since these days it's pretty reliable to find and it's a very nice marker between the early bits and then the boss fight with Brutus. Yeah. That guy hurts. Also with some extra goats, it's not a happy combination. Ah, that's why it was not a happy combination. There was a uber goat in there. So if they stay too long in my face, then my energy shield drains, and if my energy shield drains, that's not a good thing. So let's grab the talisman so the enemies don't get it. Should I actually? Yeah, I'm actually considering feeding the talisman to the monster, seeing if it actually makes a difference. Because now the fight's gonna get more interesting. The question is, does it also impact the reward? So here goes something potentially stupid. +1 to the maximum number of zombies. Oh wow, my summoner wants that. So will you grab that? And also as a result, will you actually gain zombies? Doesn't seem overly interested. Okay, now accidentally pick one up and he also starts raising zombies. Very interesting. This is, oh wow, this is, if your leech relies on having lots of enemies, for example if you're playing a Reef build, you might actually want to have an amulet like that on hand and intentionally feed it to enemies. Like the Malachi or the Piety fight, when there's not a lot, well the first Piety fight in Act 4, there's not a lot of, basically there's no minions around, are there? Maligaro, no not Maligaro, the duelist dude, Daresso, yes, his fight as well. You know, if you give this amulet, if you drop it and let Daresso pick it up, he'll start summoning zombies. So if you're playing a Reef build with life on hit attached to the Reef, he will make sure that you will be surrounded by zombies. So you will gain a massive amount of life per hit, rather than only hitting Maligaro himself. There's interesting potential there. Also, this could feed very well into Val skills, because Val skills need kills. if you kill the zombies, that means your kill count is gonna go up way faster than it normally would. The trade-off, of course, being that the enemy will always have an army of zombies around them. But provided you have pretty good AoE attacks, and it doesn't really matter if you're attacking 1 or 20 enemies, that's actually a bonus. So there's a very interesting ways, loopholes almost. Very interesting ways to use the mechanics of the league to their full advantage. I'm very curious to see what else they do. But no, +1 to zombies. Basically, it seems like they're things that they've done already with passive skill points. It's that type of effect that they are giving. It's not just damage bonuses. It's can be more creative. I'm very curious to find out what else is in here. Let's see. We go over here, and then there should be a waypoint about there. Where we get added cold, added lightning, added multiple projectiles, and void manipulation. So this is a new one. 25% reduced elemental damage, 20% more chaos damage. So 20% more damage in exchange for 20% more mana, which is not a bad idea. Especially considering that with Contagion, for example, I'm not doing any elemental damage anyway. So this is just a straight up 20% damage boost for that skill. Let's see, EK. It's also 20% more chaos damage, not added chaos, it's more chaos damage. So that should not actually add chaos damage to things that didn't do chaos damage before. But in this case, we have more damage on the Contagion. Was this 2.5 already? Was 3.1? What? What? Doesn't make sense. This does not make sense. There. Let's say, so 3.13 DPS, cast per second 1.25, spell total combined damage. Okay, so that's a bit weird. That goes to 1 to 3. Oh wait, that's the cold damage that gets added. This is completely not regarding the damage per second from the chaos. I mean, currently doing 11.6 chaos damage per second, and it's completely ignoring it. In the tooltip, so 9.7 becomes 11.6. This is definitely good. So DPS wise, this is about half. So in 2 seconds you have made up for ethereal knives. Which is not bad, especially considering that it just keeps ticking for another 3 seconds. Fun. Okay, let's sell some things and then call this an end to the episode. So lightning, I'm not actually gonna plan any lightning skills, so might as well get rid of it. So good idea to identify rares so you get more shards because of potentially interesting modifiers on the item. Okay. Alchemy shard, that's a first. Orbital transmutation, alteration. Good. Okay. Well, Tuckley, what do you have? Arion. Oh, cool. Okay. So, time to move on to the prison. So next episode we will clear the entire prison and fight the warden, Mr. Brutus. And after that we'll see how far we can get into the ship graveyard. So thank you very much once again for watching, and see you next episode. Bye bye.